Hello and welcome to Coffiko Crossing. Today we are tackling the museum. Are you guys ready? Let's get started. Okay, so I'm gonna be completely honest. When I started recording this, I had absolutely no idea what I wanted to do with my museum. I was out of ideas. I really don't like the way the museum looks. And part of me was like, it would be super easy with this small amount of space to just fill it with trees and bushes and flowers and call it a day. But as I started getting into it, I did some terraforming and I thought, what if I cover the museum and use some items that I've never used before? So that's what I ended up doing, is covering up the museum and making it look like something that it's not. I've seen this done. I've seen some Pinterest posts. I've seen some YouTube videos of people making these buildings using like the castle pieces. And I thought it was really cool, but I never thought that they would fit on my island until I came across this one that is like destroyed. And I thought, you know what? That actually does kind of match the color tones and everything on my island. So what if instead of having a museum, I have a castle on my island? And so that's what I started doing. So this is going to be, I looked at the footage when I was done with this and it was so chaotic. Like, you guys, like sometimes my streams are chaotic. It was way worse. It was crazy. And so I was able to get some of it in this video, but I'm gonna be honest, I didn't want to make a 40-minute video of me building this castle, and that's what it would have been if I had used all my footage. So I did kind of speed past some of it. If this is something that you guys are interested in seeing, like a step-by-step, not just a speed build, then let me know in the comments, because whenever I redo my island, I would be happy to build another castle as the museum or as something else, because this was a really fun build. But yeah, the footage was crazy difficult to edit, and I ended up having to like clear a lot of stuff around it, like this little waterfall section that I'm filling in right now. That was kind of like one of those spur of the moment, like I just hopped on to look at a couple things and I was like, oh, let me just build this waterfall. Oh, this is cute, I'm gonna leave it. And so I ended up just tearing that down because it wasn't really essential to anything on the island, and I ended up needing more space for the castle in this area. So I rearranged a lot of things and I did a lot of terraforming, and it took me a while to actually play around with all the moving pieces. But yeah, I'm just gonna probably let you guys watch this part, and I'll come back in towards the end for some more commentary. can tell already, chaos, just chaos. It took me so long just because also, you know, I have this small ledge that I'm trying to build all of this on. I didn't want to just needlessly terraform out a bunch of space just so that I end up deleting it, because I knew that I only needed 2 squares of ledge, but it would have been easier if I had had like 4 or 5 squares of ledge to work with, and then I just erased them when I was done. But the problem with that is that this small space of my island did not really allow me to do that. So one of my biggest tips, if you did decide to do this build, would be to do it early on in your island. Don't wait until the end, because you will not have very much space left, and it's much more cramped, and there's a lot of going back and forth and constant rearranging and trying to finagle a way to place the items the way that you want them. So that's one of my number 1 tips after doing this build for if you're going to build a castle. So as I was doing this part of the build with the medieval building walls, I noticed that from the ground, whenever I checked the view, you could still really see the museum. It was super visible, and it didn't really cover it very well. So I ended up going back through and changing it to these towers, which really blocked the museum much better from view. And it made it look a whole lot more like full and just, I guess, discreet. So yeah, I had to change up a couple of things. You can see I had to go back around and change the terraforming so that I had the spacing that I needed. So it did take a little bit more going around. Again, that's what I was talking about with the chaos with this footage, because it was a lot of back and forth. But I really loved being able to use the stone lion dog. I've never used that item before, and I always thought, like, what am I going to use this for? It looks so perfect, and it really fills that in so perfectly. So I ended up, though, I didn't get footage of the back of the castle. I got a little bit on the side, but I think I accidentally forgot to hit record or something when I was doing the backside. Really, the backside was not super crazy because I couldn't hardly see what I was doing anyways. I was just trying to make it to where even around the castle you couldn't tell that the museum was there, and I just tried to make it as seamless as possible. Again, like I said, if you're really interested in seeing a full castle build, let me know in the comments, because I can plan to do one on my next island. I really enjoy doing this, so I probably am going to do a castle regardless again. But let me know if you would prefer a speed build or a step-by-step, or if I should stream it. What do you guys think about that? So yeah, now I'm just filling in. So the rest of this build is just me filling in the area and making everything match and be full and decorated. So I think it turned out so good, like all the detail and the skyline for this castle is so gorgeous. I haven't checked in front of resident services because this is actually directly behind my resident services area. I haven't checked yet to see what the skyline looks from there, but I'll probably check that today and post a picture of it on my Instagram if it has a really good skyline view. So that's pretty much it for this build, and yeah, we're really close to finishing this island. Thank you guys for hanging out today. Make sure to subscribe and like this video if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one.